solve the following equation: 6y over 3y plus 9 plus 7y minus 19 over 2y plus 6 equals 5y minus 11 over y plus 3. To add two of these fractions together, we have to make sure that the denominator in each of them are equal to each other. For example, if you were to add a half with 1/3, you have to find a multiple of 2 and 3, preferably the lowest common multiple, and then you'd be able to add them. To have a common denominator in this equation, I'm going to have to find a lowest common multiple of 3y plus 9, 2y plus 6, and y plus 3. Lowest common multiple, or the LCM, of these three terms, we're going to simplify them into prime factors. So we're going to look at what factor can you take out of 3y and 9. So in this case it'd be 3, and then you'd be left with y plus 3. You can take a 2 from these two terms and be left with 2 bracket y plus 3, and you can't take anything from these terms, so they're already prime. So you can only take out a 1, and you'd be left with still y plus 3. To find the lowest common multiple, we're going to take each individual unique term in our prime factors, and we're going to multiply them together. So the y plus 3 part is repeated throughout these three primes, or throughout these three prime factors. So we only take one of them. We see 3 1s here, we see 2 1s here, and we see a 1 here. So we're going to take 3 times 2 times 1 times y plus 3. Applying them together gives us 6 bracket y plus 3. So this is going to be our LCM, and we're going to try to convert each of these fractions into a fraction of denominator 6 bracket y plus 3. If we've written this entire equation into one where the denominators are in prime factored form, this way it's easier to show what we're going to do to get them to have a common denominator. This first fraction, to get the denominator from 3y plus 3 to 6 multiplied by y plus 3, I have to multiply the entire thing by 2, which means that we're going to do the same to our numerator, multiply it by 2. Second fraction, I had to multiply the denominator by 3, so I also want to multiply the numerator by 3. Third fraction, I had to multiply the denominator by 6, so I want to do the same to the numerator and multiply it by 6. Our three fractions are of the same common denominator, and there is an equal sign. I can go ahead and erase the numerators. And this equation should still hold true. So we're left with only the numerators of our fractions from before, but they are still true because we had the same denominator on all three of the fractions. To expand out each of these brackets so that we can combine like terms and solve for y. 2 multiplied by 6y is 12y. 3 multiplied by 7y, 21y. 3 multiplied by minus 19 is minus 57. 6 by 5y is 30y. 6 by minus 11 is minus 66. And now we want to combine like terms here. So 12y plus 21y is 33y. Minus 57 equals 30y minus 66. And then we want to move the minus 57 to the right side, so we add 57. Going to leave us with 33y equals 30y minus 9. And we want to move the 30y to the left side, so we subtract 30y from 33. We're left with 3y equals minus 9. To move the 30y to the left side so that we can have y on its own here. So we will have 3y equals minus 9. And now we divide both sides by 3, y equals minus 3. Before I can say that minus 3 is my final answer, I have to check that the domain of this rational function allows for the y value to be minus 3. The original equation includes fractions. I know I'm going to want to avoid division by 0. So I want to look for what values of y would give me a denominator of 0, which would mean I would be dividing by 0. So here it would be y plus 3 cannot be equal to 0, therefore y cannot be minus 3. And the same for these two fractions here. And for this rational function equation is going to be, we start off with y is all real numbers, and then we exclude values that we cannot have. So in this case it would be y cannot be equals to minus 3. Remember that we found out our answer of y to be only equals to minus 3, and since this is not part of the domain, minus 3 is not an answer, and therefore there is no solution. And this is your final answer. I found today's question useful. If you'd like to see more regular uploaded content, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions of your own that you'd like to see me answer, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you next time.